Hey y'all, welcome back to Harrison Fashion. We have our first 3 stitches done, our base stitch, our back stitch, even back stitch, it might even be called at times, and then our slant stitch. So the next one we're going to do, I'm going to do it on this right hand side. Doesn't matter what side you do it on exactly, but it will be our overcast stitch then. When we do this stitch, we're not going to stitch on the folded edges right over here, okay? We're only going to sew in between where my fingers just were, so right in this area here. So we're not going to tack the folds down because we're going to use those for some other stitches, okay? Alrighty, so this one is called the overcast, okay? I will go ahead, take my little tape roller and put it down right over here, starting right at the left hand end here, but not quite at our fold because we don't want to go over our fold. And then I have it about an 1/8 to a 1/4 down, just so that I can have consistent stitches that are on the same level all the way across, instead of one maybe up here, one maybe down here, so on and so forth. So I'll show you what that means in just a second. So I'm going to start off at number 1 then. I have my needle threaded as previously shown in other videos, and I'm going to start off at the back going to the front. So my needle is coming through right at the front, and that'll get our knot stuck at the back then, so I don't have to see it once again. Okay, keep in mind each of our little marks here are 1/4 of an inch each. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, we do really want to have super close overcast stitches because it's a great stitch that you can use for things such as felted monsters and such, which we may be making in the classroom, and anything that needs to be mended and have a stitch that's really solid, that's not going to have big gaps in it. That's some of the perks of this one. So I'm going to start at number 1, and then I'm going to actually go about an 1/8 in between, just because then I can have them super close instead of further apart. 1/4 is a little far, so I'm going to aim right in between the 1 and 2. And what I'm going to do, so I have my thread coming out the front, I'm going to push my thread over the top of the fabric so it goes over, hence the term overcast stitch. And then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come through the back to the front. So this stitch, it basically just goes through the back at every point in time, goes through the back, comes through the front, okay? That's the concept for this one. And then it goes right over the top. We pull it nice and neat, but not too tight, okay? Then we do another one. So our thread goes right over the top of the fabric, and then I'm just going to push it out of the way. Sometimes I have this finger hold it, just so that it can keep the thread out of the way, because you don't want to get it accidentally looped around itself funny. And then I'm going to come through right at the 2, which is 1/8 away. And then that little finger, that left finger, kind of just helps guide it. And there we go. I've got 2 so far. I'm going to hold it a little closer just to show you guys. So then once again, I'm going to take my thread, I kind of throw it behind so it can go over the top, and then I'm going to come through at about 2.5 here, which is an 1/8 over. And the other thing I'm looking for here is that they're just all at the same, they're all kind of at the same point down right here, so that they're nice and consistent. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that through so that the stitch goes right over the top of the fabric again. Okay, nice and neat little stitches. So same thing over the top. I'd come through an 1/8 away from my last one, so I'm at the 3 now. Use my left finger to help kind of hold and guide that thread, especially if I have a lot of thread. If I have a long piece, it really helps to have that left hand help you out with that. So far, that is what it's looking like. Same thing over the top. Oops, here we go, 1/8. Took me a second, but I got it. and then on and on and on. So you do it all the way till you get to the end, okay? And then you do have to make sure when you get to the end over here, so I want you guys to start over here, not on the fold, okay, right after the fold, and I want you to keep going all the way till the end here, but do not go over this other fold. So right about here is where you'd go ahead and tie it off. When you're ready to tie it off, nothing too bad. What we can do is we can just, I'll show you right here. I'm gonna go like right next to where the thread ended up coming out right there. And I'm gonna pull it to the back. So it just makes like a little stitch like that. And then I would go ahead and I'd tie it off right at the back there, okay? And that is our overcast stitch, which goes right around the edge, over the edge every time, hence the name. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, guys.